G'day everyone. I'm going to do a video today just sort of explaining why I love cafe races, and they are my preferred choice of bike. As you can tell by the bike I ride, you know, it's just a naked bike with clubman handlebars and bar end mirrors. Very sort of reminiscent of the cafe races of old. And I mean, I'm hooked on them, really. I just am. And the bike I hope to end up owning one day is a Triumph Thruxton. They're 850cc, so you know they're fairly big, but not over the top. Parallel twin, so they got a really nice exhaust note. And the one I want to own isn't a brand new one. The problem I got with the brand new ones is they've gone to injection, and I think it's sort of ruined it a bit. I mean, I'd be fine with the whole injection thing if they didn't try to cover up the fact it was injection, because what they've got on the back of the engine, instead of having carburetors, they've got fake carburetors, and inside the fake carburetors is that's the throttle body at injection, but it's still got a little choke pull-out knob on the side, which isn't a choke, it's just enrichener. I mean, it does the same job, adds more fuel, but it's not the real thing. And of course they don't crackle and pop and burble and carry on when you let off the throttle like the old ones do. So the one I want to end up owning is a 2004-2005 sort of model, where they still had carburetors. And the handlebars, they didn't have handlebars, they had clip-ons. The new Triumph Thruxtons, there's a cool little scooter there. Let's race. No, let's not. They'll put me in jail. There's a Porsche GT3 over there. I don't mind those either. What was I saying? Bloody hell. Yeah, the new Triumph Thruxtons, along with injection, they've also got like handlebars like this bike. They don't have proper clip-ons like the proper cafe races are supposed to, which is a shame, because you know the clip-ons, you do get a more aggressive riding position, and you know that's the whole reason they got the Bonneville and the Thruxton, is to give you the choice between an aggressive riding position and a casual, relaxed, upright riding position. But with the Thruxton, they've gone neither here nor there. You know, with their handlebars, they're sort of here. Yeah. Anyway, I sat on one. They're nice, but I still prefer the old ones. But the whole reason I like cafe races in the first place is I think when I was a bit younger, I saw a show on TV. I think it was just called Cafe Racer. I can't remember, but it was all about these bikes and building them from the ground up and making them full on custom cafe racer bikes. And I just fell in love with them from the moment I saw that show. And I guess I sort of forgot about it, because this is before I got my bike license, and before I did my learners and all that. What's this guy doing? I'll just sneak past you there, mate. Cheers. And yeah, then when I got my bike license, I completely forgot that I loved cafe races. I completely forgot that I fell in love with them, you know, a few years ago. And then I went online, started searching for bikes that I wanted to buy. And you know, I was just looking at like little commuters, like 125s and 150s and that. But I was looking to buy brand new, which I know probably was a mistake for my first bike. And the only bikes I could afford were the Honda CB 125E or the CF Moto 150, which, let's be honest, they're terrible bikes. I wouldn't want to live with one of them from day to day. Anyway, I started looking on the second-hand market. First bike that popped up, this. And the moment I saw the photograph from the front showing the big single headlight with the club and bars nice and down low, I was like, Oh, I have to have that bike. And I pursued it. And I did look at a few others, but I kept being drawn back to this one, simply because it had that look, it had that sound, it had everything. And that's why I'm on this bike today, and that's why I kept it when the engine blew up. That's why I repaired it and I didn't get rid of it. You know, I could have given up on it and just sold it off for scrap, but I loved it too much. I still do. I want to keep this bike. So that's kind of why I love cafe races. It's because I'm the sort of person who will stick with something. I don't care how impractical it is. I don't care what other people say. If I love something, I love it. And that's me in a nutshell. And it got me thinking, you know, with all the bikes around today, you know, fully fed super sports and motards and bikes that are just covered in plastic. I'm sorry to say, but this is just my opinion. They just don't have any soul. They just don't have that. You know, yeah, sure, they're quick, they're fast, they can scare the nuts off you, but they're just not interesting. For example, let's take a beautiful girl. She's in a full length, beautiful dress, and you know, people look at her and they think, wow, she is stunning. She is really beautiful. That's a super sport bike. You know, with full fairings, it's got a nice sound to it. It does all the right things, you know, it goes fast, it does all that. But then you take the same girl and you strip her back to her underwear, and I'm not talking just normal underwear, I'm talking full-on sexy lingerie underwear. That's a cafe racer. You can see everything except for the really naughty bits. You know, the only things you can't see are the spark plugs and the front sprocket. That's why I love cafe races. You can see it work, you can see it in motion, you can see every mechanical piece doing its job to keep the bike going fast. And that's just why I love them, you know. I don't particularly like the way motorcycles are going, even though I know they've got to go that way. You know, with injection and ABS and traction control and all this, what are these guys doing? Got to give way to the right, so I've got to stop. Yeah, I just don't like the way they're going. Bikes are getting softer. Even though they're getting faster and more scary, they are getting softer. It takes effort to ride a cafe racer. When you're on a cafe racer, there is a little piece of you in that bike. And if that piece of you in the bike is lost, you're coming straight off that bike and you're dying. You've got to be connected with the bike at all times. It's like this bike. I mean, there's moments where I've sort of been a bit blasé about riding this bike in tight twisty bends, and it hasn't been easy. You know, I've had a few times where I've nearly come off it. I mean, I have come off it, but that was in traffic, that's a different situation. But when it's just me and the bike, I need to be completely focused. I need to be in communication with the bike. I need to know exactly what the bike's doing. The bike needs to know exactly what I'm doing. And when you get that just right, fuck, it's a rewarding experience. Even though it's just a 250, it's a seriously rewarding bike, this. So yeah, that's my little it's a little background of why I love cafe races and what I think of bikes these days, and Anyway, decide for yourself what type of bikes you like, and that's why the world goes round. If it was just one type of bike in the world, it'd just be boring, wouldn't it? But luckily we have so many different styles of bike around, and cars. And I just think it's wonderful when you get such a diverse amount of styles of bikes on a group ride. You know, you get naked bikes, you get super sport bikes, sometimes you'll get motards, and then you get a cafe racer that rocks up and everyone sort of looks at it going, what's that? And then you get one clued in person in the group that goes, oh, that's a cafe racer. So, yeah. Anyway, when I rock up on group rides with this, people sort of look at it funny. They go, oh, what's that doing here? This is a plastic bike, mate. Then they hear it and they go, oh, yep, okay, we understand now.